This is Good Taste Brekky with Chloe and Elle this morning on Juice 107.3. Joining us on the line is someone you would know as a very good-looking vet that is often on television. He also hosts multiple shows. He's on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. He's in the living room.
His teeth are the whitest in the world.
He's got the whitest teeth in the world. Dr. Chris Brown is joining us this morning. Good morning.
I mean, you just listed my entire resume, right? If I ever go for a job at a new vet clinic, I list everything you just said there. And you know, it helps rarely, to be honest.
Now, Chris, I read somewhere that you actually got your big break by just telling a few stories about animals in a pub. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. It all started just was working in a vet clinic and had a pretty interesting week and decided to bore someone with my animal stories. And I you know, some unkind people would say I've been doing it ever since.
Oh my God.
Was there a particular story that stood out, do you think, that made you the winner, that got you the gig?
I think, look, it was a fairly interesting job for my first one. I made a like as a vet who's just coming out to the real world. I remember my very first patient, which wouldn't have been too far off that, was a little cockatiel called Sweetie. Only I misread the card or the file name for the bird. And my very first patient, I walked out into the waiting room to meet the owner and said, I'm here to see Sweaty. Where's Sweaty? And they're like, Sweetie. And I was like, I'm. And so it's been a wonderful veterinary career ever since.
Oh, that's funny. So you'd already diagnosed gland problem. It's obviously a gland problem with this one.
Gland. I mean, if in doubt, assume gland. Yeah. I mean, it's the most glamorous part of the veterinary profession. So things inevitably seem to end up there. Genuinely, if you are tired, thankfully I'm never really hungover on the job, but if you're not feeling great, without fail, you will get the dog with diarrhea or with gland problems. It is the most. That's why I always laugh when people sort of glamorise being a vet. I mean, I love doing it, and it's my passion, but it's the least glamorous job. You spend most of your life with a glove on in places where the gloves are designed to go. I mean, that's just the basis of the occupation, really.
My dog very much dislikes that. I can't even be in the room with her when that happens. Mm-hmm. But I do want to go back to this pub chatting thing. Who were you telling the story to for you to just then get your break?
Well, no, I was overheard. So I was actually talking. At the time, that was a very busy bar, and they were taking forever to serve the drink. So I was just talking to it was a girl. I was talking to a girl beside me, and may have embellished the story just a little bit. But I was being overheard by a guy who was like a media manager sort of person, and he actually thought I was making up being a vet to impress the girl, and he had a joke with me later on, and I informed him, no, I'm actually a vet, and then from there he I think made a few calls to a few networks, and I ended up getting a screen test and then a job out of it. So it was a well-timed story, that's for sure.
There you go. Well, Elerrina's off to the pub straight after this interview.
Telling my stories.
Chris, you are on the living room tonight at 7:30. Last week you donned some 70s garb and did some Bee Gees. What can we expect from tonight?
It's a little bit of a gear change tonight. There's a lot of hair, still a lot of hair, but it's mostly coming from the animals we're helping. So we're helping out an animal shelter, like a lot of rescue animals and just pets in general over the last few months. They've been working hard. They've been working hard to sort of keep our spirits up and ease our loneliness and any anxiety we have. And so we thought it was nice to give something back to dogs and rescue pets and cats as well. And so we're helping out an animal shelter on the far north coast of New South Wales that's really been struggling, and so we do a bit of a makeover there, but also just highlight a few challenges that pets are facing at the moment, and hopefully you learn a few things, but also have a bit of fun, and the rest of the team are off doing their bits and pieces as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys actually have a GoFundMe page set up for that, don't you?
We do, actually, yeah. So the idea is to like a lot of places, crisis accommodation is so important for pets. A lot of the time, in cases of natural disaster, or if something happens to a family member, or and this is sadly a really common one in cases of domestic violence. People often stay in relationships a lot longer than they should for the sake of the animals they have, and they're worried about them. So we're trying to raise the money for this shelter and their crisis accommodation to be built to make sure that doesn't happen.
We'll pop that GoFundMe page up on our Facebook page. Dr. Chris Brown, thanks so much for joining us on the show this morning.
Hey, anytime, guys. Thank you. Nice to chat.
You too. Take care. This is Good Taste Brekky with Chloe and Elle on Juice 107.3.